for Market podcast.
Honestly, a lot of people are like, oh, like, why do you farm? And I farm because I love it. I actually do not farm to make any kind of difference at all at the end of the day. And I started farming to make a difference, but I keep farming because I love it more than anything. I love farming with the people that are my team. And I hope that other people are benefited by our life's work, but I'm not doing it for anybody but me, really. And that's, I think, kind of important, because if you're expecting to get some kind of like reward or affirmation or something from a community of people that like really isn't giving it, it can be so disheartening. And so at the end of the day, it's like, and I wasn't able to sell my whole CSA. It's like, oh, well, I still love farming. So,
yeah. You still get to go out there and hang out with vegetables and animals and people.
Yeah. And I think periodically reminding myself of that has been an important part of my process.
Hello and welcome to the Growing for Market podcast, where we talk about growing, marketing, and the business of growing vegetables and flowers for local markets like farmers markets, CSAs, farm stands, and local wholesaling. I'm Katie Kula, your host and a writer for Growing for Market magazine. For 33 years, the magazine for flower and vegetable market farmers. If you're enjoying the podcast, just wait till you see the magazine. Go to growingformarket.com for more. Also, if you could give us a follow and a rating, it really helps other like-minded people find the podcast.
Local Line is the most popular software platform for farmers and food hubs selling direct to consumer. With features like e-commerce, inventory management, subscriptions, and box builder, Local Line helps you grow sales, save time, and streamline your operations. In fact, last year, farms that used Local Line grew their sales by 23%. Ready to switch to a proven sales software that does it all? Local Line has no setup fees, no commissions, and will migrate your storefront for free, so you'll be up and running in no time. As a GFM podcast listener, Local Line is offering a free premium feature for 1 year with your subscription using the coupon code GFM2025. Don't wait. Start your season off the right way with Local Line. Today's episode of the Growing for Market podcast is brought to you by BCS America. On our farm, we've had our BCS two-wheel tractor for over a decade, and with no belts to slip, its all-gear-driven construction is still going strong. Though we originally got it for rototilling, we kept it even when we went mostly no-till because it can do so many other things around the farm. From snow blowing, to making raised beds with the rotary plow, to chipping wood, it can do just about anything you might need on a farm with the right attachment. Need to shred a cover crop? A BCS flail mower will make quick work of even the most vigorous cover crop and chop it up so it breaks down quickly. Want to stir in compost or amendments without inverting soil layers? A power harrow turns your BCS into a precise tilthing machine with depth control so you don't mix deeper than you want to. With so many attachments to choose from, it truly is the Swiss Army knife of farm implements. It's why, instead of saying two-wheel tractor, so many people just say BCS. Tractors and attachments are on sale through the end of the year. Visit bcsamerica.com to find sale pricing and your nearest dealer.
Hello, everyone. Today I am talking with Sarahlee Lawrence, owner of Rain Shadow Organics and 2T Sustainable Land and Cattle Holdings. Rain Shadow Organics is located in Sisters, Oregon, on land where Sarahlee grew up. She started this version of the farm in 2010, and today they offer a wide range of farm goods, including a full diet CSA. Sarahlee is also the author of River House, a memoir published by Tin House Books about her return to her family's land as a young adult. Welcome, Sarahlee. I'm so glad to have you here today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, let's start at the beginning. You have like a pretty big story at this point, so I want to see if we can do it justice. But please tell us about how you came to farm and operate Rain Shadow Organics.
I was studying environmental science in both my undergrad and graduate school, and I was really focused on river conservation at the time. And somewhere along the way, actually on a river, doing river conservation, I was reading some Michael Pollan and really turned me on to food and farming and the fact that what we eat is one of our biggest environmental footprints and a place where people can take action daily in the way that they exist on this planet. And I was feeling at the time like river conservation was big and really hard to make a difference and bureaucratic. And I was like, wow, it would feel really good to make a small difference that felt a lot more tangible to me. And the call out to the intimacy with what you eat, what you put in your body, knowing where it all came from, the full life of plants and animals that we eat. And that seemed like such an adventure to me. I was like, wow, that's exciting. That's taking food to a whole nother level. And that's really why I wanted to try farming. I grew up on this farm, but my family raised hay and a few cows and horses and stuff. And I definitely didn't think that I was going to be a farmer, and I didn't want to raise hay. And so I knew about work ethic and stuff like that, but I did not know about raising vegetables. And I had more skills in animal husbandry, I would say. But my dad was really getting tired of farming himself. He's a soul surfer, and he now spends 7 months out of the year in Mexico surfing every day.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, he's a legend for sure. Big Wave Dave. But I guess I thought I might farm or live on the farm as an older woman, maybe caring for my parents or something. And it became sort of an emergent opportunity. And I came home and started farming on a little 2-acre spot that had water rights and had never really been farmed. So I was able to certify it organic right at the outset, which was really exciting for me. That seemed like a really important part of it all, like beyond just local and organic methods, but being certified was something. And now organic certification has it's losing its power somehow. I think it's getting dumbed down pretty bad, but I still think it's really important. I'm still certified organic. And at the time when I started 16 years ago, I was like, this is the first thing that I need to do. Plus, making an organic systems plan felt really important in making a plan at all about how to farm, because I didn't really know how to farm. So that was really helpful to me.
Yeah, I agree. Our farm was certified the first year too. And it was actually a really useful process to have to be that intentional right out of the gate and like literally write it all down.
Yeah, and I still really appreciate the record keeping. The good little 4-H'er in myself is like, and my mom helps me with it now. And that's really nice because, of course, the farm is a little more unwieldy than it was in the early days.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what brought me back. And, I started with just a few seeds and a couple tools from the Restore and did everything by hand, built all the beds by hand. And I mean, God, the things that I learned the first year, like really tall lettuce is not a particular variety. Pumpkins are green before they turn orange. Okay. Yes. All right. How do we know when it's ready? Kohlrabi grows above the ground. I also wasn't really a vegetable eater. I was not that. People are like, "Oh, you're a organic farmer. You must be a vegetarian." It's like, oh no, I don't know. I was buying like baby spinach and little peppers and bacon from the grocery outlet. That's like my diet. It's like what? So anyway. I learned a lot. I planted so many things. I was just like, all right, seed catalog, I'll take it all.
Let's see. I'm laughing because so much of what you said is very familiar to me.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so that was the beginning. That was 2010.
Okay, so that's the beginning. I must have met you pretty soon after you started your farm then. I didn't realize. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it seemed like Brighton Bush. I maybe was there my third season and then, and then for a few seasons, of course, after that.
Yeah. So, okay. Let's jump to today. Your farm has grown so much since that 2 acres. I have to admit, I'm a little in awe of everything you are doing. Every now and then I'll check in, like, what's Sarahlee doing? And I go to your Instagram and it's like, all the things.
All the things. And I'm not on Instagram anymore personally, so
well, the farm
I don't even
is.
know what's going on there.
Okay, well, that's great. So you have somebody doing that for you. Awesome. I highly approve. But tell us more. What does the farm look like today?
Yeah, the farm today. So our family land is 80 acres. We have 27 acres under irrigation. It's all certified organic now. We grow about 12 acres of row crops each year, and then the other half of our farm is in grain and or cover crop. We still farm the 2 acres. It is now an event space. We do a lot of farm to table events, and we have an on-farm store and commercial kitchen where we do a lot of preservation and then cooking for our events out of the kitchen. We raise hogs. We butcher between 40 and 80 hogs a year, depending on the success of our boar, which I've been zeroing in on. I'm like, you're really only viable for 1 year as far as I'm concerned. So we had a couple setbacks there. Gosh, being short on pork is problematic. We do 1,000 meat chickens a year. We've got 400 laying hens. We have 6 dairy cows. We got our deer horses still. My mini donkey, obviously.
Have to have a mini donkey.
Everybody needs a mini donkey. My little petting zoo. Yeah, and it's a full diet farm. So we really raise what we eat at this farm year round. About 90% of what we eat, we raise here. And we've got year-round staff, and we have a year-round full diet program that comes to the farm every week to get their meats, grains, vegetables, eggs, dairy. We have a little pantry section. We sell stuff from Azure through our store to make it a little bit more of a one-stop deal.
Oh, that's nice for your customers.
Yeah, it's nice for me too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I need some more maple syrup. So we have the full diet program, which is really cool. We do a herd share, very small herd share with our excess milk, and then we have a CSA that we grow for year round. So we have 200 people in the summer and 125 members in the wintertime.
And that's veggies only, to clear.
No, meat and vegetables.
So separate from the full diet is...
Yeah.
Okay, so is that different, that it's more piecemeal for them, like what they want, as opposed to everything?
Yeah. So when you're a full diet member, you come out here and you get full access to all the cuts, all the veg. It's just a free choice deal, plus the grain and the eggs and the milk. So only the full diet is really getting the milk. But so we have small, medium, and large options of vegetables and meat. And so you can mix and match. And we deliver just locally to Bend and Sisters. And we do quite a lot of wholesale with restaurants and grocery stores, and then the full diet. So
how many people are on the full diet separate from the CSA?
We have about 40 mouths. So it's a little different than a share, right? When it's like, this family is getting a small share. It's everybody in the household has to be a member. Mm-hmm. Which, is that how you guys did that? Or
Yeah. It was based on how many people are in the household.
Yeah, especially with the food
and
choice.
Ages of kids too.
Yeah, exactly.
Affected it.
Yeah, so we have about 40 mouths, and we're always trying to expand it. We love the full diet program. It'd be so cool just to be a full diet farm and not have to do the hustle and bustle of packing up and going to town. But market is also really cool, and we have some wonderful customers that driving all the way out here. We're 45 minutes from Bend, which is sort of our bigger town over here, and I'm like, man, it's only 32 minutes from Costco. Like, it takes that long to drive across town. It's a nice drive, but it's a little bit of a hard sell. We're not exactly on the way to anything.
Mm,
Getting people to actually come to the farm has its challenges, I would say.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to talk more about marketing stuff extensively, but I feel like we just need to pause and talk about where you are, because people who, aren't from Oregon aren't going to understand the uniqueness of
Yeah.
doing what
Central
you are
Oregon.
doing in Sisters. Like, this is a desert.
Yeah. It's a high desert.
High
Yes.
desert. You're like kind of in the mountains by many people's standards.
Yeah, this is the edge of the Intermountain West. And so we're east of the Cascades. We're in the rain shadow, hence the name. It's very dry here. We only get sometimes as little as 7 inches of rainfall in a year. And a lot of it comes as snow. This year,
A
being
lot more
wet,
snow.
5 degrees warmer overall, it seems like we've had a lot of rain. And I find myself being like, oh my God, this is not my usual vibe here. But so yeah, things are changing. But in general, Central Oregon is a very radical place, and it can be cold at very strange times and warm. It's 50 degrees here in January right today. And that is crazy. Sometimes it's only in the teens and barely as a high. In the summer, we'll freeze into early July and then again in mid-August. And Central Oregon, I've heard, has 0 frost-free days. So in the last 100 years, it's frozen at least once on every single day of the year. So tricky.
Yeah. So how do you do that? Do you have high tunnels? Do you use a lot of row cover? Because you're providing vegetables year round in a climate that many people would think of as just a straight up hard place to have a summer garden, let alone
Yeah,
year
I know. When
round.
I started, my mom's like, I lost my garden on the 4th of July, like more years than I can count. And I'm like, well, I mean, there's got to be something, So, yes, that it is a challenging place. We use a lot of row cover in the spring and in the fall. We use 20 greenhouses that we grow in. And on our big field, we frost protect with irrigation.
Okay.
Especially in like May and June
Right.
and
And
in
you get
August.
warnings, obviously, right? There's forecasts. So
Yeah,
you're
but
like, yeah, mostly.
how the weather is. It's like, wow, how can you be so wrong and still get paid? And it's often colder than they're calling for. We like when they're calling for 42, that's 32 to us. And I think across the board in Central Oregon, people edit their weather, especially in terms of sensitive crops that will not take a frost. Like then when you're looking at 42, you're taking measures, you're moving your irrigation into position, you're covering things, you're closing your greenhouses. I mean, I guess like everybody, I just don't know if everybody's experiencing that at such unfortunate times. But we managed to get through it. And I mean, so we are limited, especially out in our big field, like our corn, squash, beans, sensitive stuff that I frost protect with the wheel line. I only can grow as much as the wheel line will cover. So I can't expand it or separate it. In terms of my crop planning and my crop rotation, those two things always need to be next to each other.
Right. That's an interesting puzzle for planning.
Yeah, it is. We grow on our 25 acres in sort of 3 different zones. And so we move across the field each year and grow in a different place every year. And then within like that third of the field, we move our crops around so that we're trying to be on a 9-year crop rotation
that's great.
is our goal. Yeah, and that helps with, potatoes for us are always just the funkiest in terms of their
What are some of your like pests or problems that build up if you don't?
Yeah, well, the potato beetle, and then also just scabby, cratery, funky, fungusy stuff. Potatoes are just
hard.
So funny. Yeah. I know. I think, potatoes were overgrown as a monocrop in Central Oregon for like many, many years back in the
So you just have all the things.
Yeah, it's just sort of lurking around. And this was a potato field back in those days. And so it had a really long break. It was almost 50 years with no potatoes, but
Yeah, we have the same thing with melons where we are. They grew a lot of melons here historically, and then there, like you said, a big long break here on the field we have, but there's just things that are still sticking around. We can grow them, but we have to be much more high touch than one would expect.
Yeah. So, and crop rotation is our number one thing. So that's how we manage that. Yeah.
And now let's take a minute to hear from our sponsors. It's with their generous support that we can bring you the podcast for free.
Whether it's tomatoes to market, flowers in the spring, or vegetables for your family, growing in a greenhouse protected from the weather provides the right environment for a harvest you can count on. Rimmel greenhouses are strong, durable, and easy to assemble, offering the quality that you need to grow productively year-round. Rimmel greenhouses are proudly built right here in America and shipped to anywhere in the U.S. With technical sales staff members located across the country, many with growing experience, the Rimmel Greenhouse's team of experts will serve as your trusted partner every step of the way to ensure that you get exceptional value from your greenhouse investment. Visit Rimmel.com to get a quote today. I don't know about you, but I got into farming to grow food and connect with my customers, not to spend my time glued to a desk. If I could spend less time in spreadsheets and more time out in the field, that would be a win. Enter Farmhand. Farmhand is the only all-in-one virtual assistant built by and for CSA farmers. With tools like custom websites, done-for-you newsletters, CSA member support, flyers and QR codes, customer billing, and more, Farmhand takes care of the admin so you can focus on what you love. And here's the best part. You can learn how it works directly from Farmhand founder Ari Memar. If you're a longtime listener of this podcast, you've probably heard Ari as a guest, sharing his expertise alongside inspiring success stories from the farmers he's helped. As both a hobby farmer and a tech expert, Ari understands your challenges firsthand. He spent years simplifying complex systems to make farming easier and more profitable for growers like you. On average, Farmhand saves CSA farmers 6 to 10 hours a week. That's up to 10 extra hours to spend with your family, in the field, or simply taking a breather. In a complimentary one-to-one demo, Ari will share his wealth of knowledge and show you exactly how Farmhand can streamline your operations, grow your CSA, and help you stay competitive in today's market. Don't miss this opportunity to connect with someone who truly understands the challenges of small farms and has the tools to help you succeed. Book your complimentary demo today at farmhand.partners/GFM. That's farmhand.partners/GFM.
And now, back to the show. So how big of a crew are you running with all of this? Sounds just like a lot of moving parts and it sounds like you've delegated pieces of it, like at least social media.
Yeah, I know, man. The death scroll, I'm like, I really cannot afford to be this tired and spending this like kind of time on this odd app. I'm like, I got to get rid of this. So yes, I do delegate that, but our team is about 6 people in the vegetable department. On any given day, I have a really great farm manager, right hand, Nat leader, and she lives here on the farm and definitely has risen into an incredible partner in the whole thing and does a really incredible job at managing everything. With me, I think, we work really well together and really closely together. But we bring on apprentices every year. So we're hiring right now for our apprentice program. And so we take on people with little to no experience and we crank out people that can really get with it. And I think that that's a really important part of what we do, and we really enjoy it mostly. I mean, some people can be like challenging, but I think all people.
Yeah.
And then we have a couple animal people. So animals, of course, are 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
Yeah.
I do them on the holidays. And we have a 5-day-a-week animal person and then a 2-day-a-week animal person. We used to rotate through animals and made that more of our apprenticeship, but it really wasn't good for the animals. They really need a more consistent caregiver. So there's that. I have an events team. Our events manager, Mel, is outstanding, and it's totally her wheelhouse, and she manages it entirely. We have a lot of part-time staff that come out to serve and cook and whatnot.
Yeah, that's like its whole own enterprise right there.
Yeah. And she's so integrated in everything. She started as an apprentice here, actually. So she definitely knows how to farm. She'll pop out into the field when we're shorthanded. She's really incredible. And the events indeed are their own beast. And so, yes, we've got a full-time year-round resident chef, Tristan, who
Oh
this
my
is
gosh,
third
that's
season.
amazing.
He does all the preservation. He does staff lunches. He does the smaller events by himself. He's grown into that, which is cool. And then he sous chefs the larger garden events. And hopefully someday he'll be in charge of the whole 9 yards there. So he's wonderful. We've had a really incredible farm liaison manager person that's been here for 5 seasons and is moving back to California this year. And we're bringing on a new markets manager. So that's exciting. Of course, my parents.
Yeah.
Are
when not in Mexico.
When not in Mexico, they're here in the summer and they help me so much and are definitely my little MVPs. My sweetheart works remotely and he calls it ghost farming. So he steps in and he helps me a lot, especially with the things that I do specifically. And so he's like a little duplicate of myself, which is really nice.
That's handy. Yeah.
He's really good with the tractors and animals, and he's wildly capable. So that's a really wonderful part. So anyway, it's a farmily is what we call it. And we love this place, and we are so passionate about what we do, and we love sharing that with our apprentices every year, and putting that energy out into the world and providing really incredible nutrient-dense food for the people here. And we really appreciate the people that give a shit about that because a lot of people don't. So you're not a hero to everybody, that's for sure.
Yeah, but it sounds like it's a great community you've built around the farm. Do the apprentices also live on the farm while they're there?
Yeah, we have some seasonal housing that they live in, and that's been really good. And so yeah, it's a scene. We roll pretty deep. We go bowling, we make parties, we barbecue. It's like if you're inviting rain shadow, it turns into around 20 people. So it's like it's like being a crazy family with too many kids or something, But
I'm curious if you feel like your location has helped you recruit and retain great people, because you're in a pretty desirable place to live and have a job. In terms of, we were talking about how it's hard because it's a desert, but it's also a recreation mecca. I mean, it's just a gorgeous place.
Yeah, if you have energy to play.
Well, I realize that is true, Sarahlee, but people might not know. They're like, ooh, a farm job around all those hikes. That'll be the best. And then they get there and they're like, oh,
yeah,
I have a farm job. I'm not going to go hiking.
I'm really tired. Yeah, we do organize our week around recreation. I will say we work Sunday through Thursday. So we have Friday, Saturday off. And we also work from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. So then people can go swimming, go hiking, go climbing. And we definitely get people that like to play. And if they are good with their self-care, they do have enough to get out there and have a good time. I think people come here to some degree based on the location. And I think it's also a little rude awakening how hot, dry, smoky it is in the summertime. So,
yeah, I was going to talk about the smoke later, but let's just talk about it. We're still talking about the uniqueness of the place. Like, tell us about the smoke. Like, how does this affect you? What's the situation? I mean, I'm on just across the mountains from you, and it seems like some part of your region is burning every summer.
Yeah, it is. I know. We bought a sailboat on the coast last year, and my sweetheart and I go out there and get away. God, I
Yeah.
just like it's like you can't. I feel like the whole West is pretty smoky, but yeah, 2020 was a really gnarly year,
2020 was
and it
terrible.
seemed to stand out just wildly. And honestly, it feels like it's been about that ever since. And it's like, all right, I guess, especially growing up here, it's like after 40 years starting to see smoke like that and then having it become a consistent thing is really sad. It's like this is not my childhood memory. And I how does it affect us? I mean, it's oppressive, and I like to call it's like, oh, just pretend like it's coastal fog. You know? Like if you
Except my
can't do
eyes
anything
are slightly burning.
if you can't do anything about it, like just don't pay it any attention. We really just work through it. We don't really have any way around that. And so if it's really bad, we might wear masks. We always offer it to our people. That's why we work earlier in the day, and we keep the water on the truck and the shade and the masks and we do all the things that you're supposed to do and then some. But all the things just still want to get harvested on all the days that they get harvested, and the animals wake up and want what they need. So being a farmer in the smoke is like a lot of even outdoor jobs. People will not work when the AQI is really bad, and it's like, all right, yeah, we're gonna take a break, let this pass, and get back at it. And that's just really not an option for us. So
Right.
yeah, I try not to think about it too much, but I have been mentioning it quite a bit in my job interviews with people in the last few weeks. Just like, okay,
Sure, they should
really
know.
make sure that you know what you're getting yourself into, especially if you're quitting like a pretty well-paying indoor job.
Mm-hmm.
The romance, the reality of the romance is got some nasty little corners to it.
Yeah. Well, and it'd be important for somebody to know if they had asthma,
Yeah, I have really bad asthma, and I really deal with it. It's meh. Anyway, we don't.
Yeah, maybe that person should find a farming job at the coast,
Yeah.
Yeah, I interviewed Zoe Bradbury on the podcast last year, and they have a really idyllic spot down there, the southern Oregon coast.
Oh, I know it. Have you visited?
I've been to the area. My aunt and uncle live down there, but not to their farm yet. I'll get there someday. But the whole spot is just beautiful summer temperatures. They don't get above 85 and no smoke or rarely smoke. It's oh.
Yeah.
So I feel like what it used to be like in the whole Northwest.
Yeah, I know it.
Yeah, September used to be the best time of year to go hiking in the mountains, and now it's pretty smoky.
Smoky September. That's what we call it. Abundant August. People are always like angry August. I'm like, oh, now. Abundant August. Smoky September.
Smoky September, sometimes into October.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have so many things to talk about, which is great. Oh, I wanted to ask. So you started with the vegetables and then expanded, even though it sounds like you had more experience with livestock growing up. Bringing livestock and animal products into your offerings, how did you navigate the regulation issues there? Because vegetables, you can more or less put a seed in the ground, and at least here in Oregon, all you really have to do technically is get your scale licensed, get a business license, and then you're ready to go. But there's a lot more to think about before you can sell animal products. So how did that go for you guys? How do you navigate that?
Yeah, we have a really close relationship with our ODA health inspector, and having our freezers and our scales and all kinds of things in terms of the meat. Raising the animals isn't too crazy, but butchering we use a USDA butcher for all of our pork and beef, and then we operate under the 1,000 bird exemption in Oregon for our chickens. And we only sell our chickens out of our farm store to our CSA.
Just for the people who aren't in Oregon, that means you can slaughter and butcher those on the
On
farm
farm.
yourself and then sell them directly to customers, and you don't need a license to do that.
And that's
Right.
very particular if, people are listening to this out of state, like understanding your own meat regulations is really important. Oregon is very strict with its USDA. We don't have any USDA mobile butchers, which is important. There is a new program that is through the ODA, and it's for, and it happened sort of after 2020 with the meat the meat issues arose in the pandemic, and so some different things went through, and I am not wildly privy to all of them. I just still work with the same USDA butchers that I always did. But I think that there are more options now in Oregon specifically. In Washington, they have USDA mobile butchers. I would love a mobile butcher. I hate hauling my animals to the butcher. It's like such a low point for me, but that is what we do. And we have to travel pretty far. We had 2 USDA butchers here in Central Oregon. One of them shut down. So Butcher Boys is the only one that's left. And we do all of our beef through them. And then we take our pork to Sandy, to Buxton's.
Sandy, Oregon?
Yeah. So up and over Mount Hood. And it's 3 hours.
So you have to haul your hogs?
Yeah.
3 hours. Wow.
Yeah. So that's just such a bummer. I hate it. So if anybody's listening in the policy department, get it together, will you?
Yeah. Or if anybody wants to start, get a USDA licensed butcher in Central Oregon that does hogs. Maybe somebody's looking to start a new business.
Yeah, especially like organic. So we don't sell our beef certified organic because we cannot get enough butcher dates at a certified organic facility that is at least within 3 hours. So that's a real bummer. And it'd be amazing to have an organic USDA facility here in Central Oregon, but it's a dying art. No one really wants to do it. The butcher has everybody by the balls because there's not very many of them. Like their customer service is always so bad. But we deal with it, and it seems like we've got it pretty well figured out in terms of our butcher dates and our storage. We've built a lot of freezer storage so that it used to be like we didn't have the storage, so we would have to butcher pretty much every month year round to keep up with our demand with our year-round full diet and everything, and restaurants. And so now we're able to do some really big butcher dates in the fall and then hold the meat over the winter. And that way you're not overwintering animals and you're not hauling them in the winter. So that's been a huge improvement. Our on-farm freezer capacity is really, but then of course it's a liability. It's like you keeping a really close eye on that freezer.
Yeah. Do you have generators and stuff in case the power goes out, or?
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's still like, it's just like tens of thousands of dollars worth of meat sitting in a freezer. It's like, so you definitely have insurance for that. and hopefully nothing goes bad.
Yeah. And how do you make the milk work?
Well, we have only 2 cows in milk at any given time. So we have our cows in succession. I think you can have up to 4 cows in milk.
In Oregon specifically. Again, this is, for people listening, it's different in every state.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure it's 4 in Oregon. We just do 2, and that seems to be enough milk, especially now that we're almost exclusively Jersey that are cranking out the gallons. And we've moved along a couple of our favorite. We even have one, if anybody wants one. One of our favorite dairy cows. She just would be perfect for a family. But the amount of time it takes to milk, and get a gallon or 2 versus 5 or 6 is very different. But gosh, she's a sweetheart.
Oh.
Anyway.
Okay. Well, anybody want a cow?
Yeah.
Family pet with more milk than most families could drink in a day.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah. Okay, so the full diet. You do that free choice model, but this is one of the many enterprises you have going on, right? So I'm curious how you've worked out the right balance of pricing for that with the free choice. And and made that work for both for your customers, but also for the farm? Because you don't necessarily know when people sign up exactly how much food they're going to take.
Yeah, that's real. And it is a little bit of dark matter that goes on, the mysterious business of the full diet. So, one of the things that we do is we really help people eat the whole animal we've done a lot of work on weighing every single cut that comes in, understanding what our animals produce specifically and then on average, and then making essentially like a cut sheet where that's tallied and people take a correct amount of all the different things. So like there's only one hanger steak. So you can only get that once, until you've eaten your whole cow. Like,
oh, that's an interesting,
yeah. So
okay.
you gotta take your roast, you gotta take the ground is easy, but that's like 35% of any animal. So and it's great because ground is so easy to cook with. I would say that people would like me to probably grind more of the animal so that it's easy. But, we do only whole chickens. We don't do any parting out. And that's part of the 1,000 bird exemption. You're really not supposed to be doing any added beyond the whole bird. So, our farm liaison and market manager spend a lot of time giving people recipes, talking to them. You're having this direct relationship with the same person every week, giving you your food, who's helping you through that journey. So it's like a guided diet in a way.
Okay. So it's not just a free for all. You're pointing them in a direction so that, I guess, so it's fair, right? Like you were saying.
Yeah. Yeah. Fair for us, fair for them.
If somebody wanted the same cut every week, that means nobody else ever gets it.
Yeah, it's like, dude, we don't want you in our community. Get the hell out of here. Go back to the grocery store. So we really help people understand that. So we have an ethos around eating, and we make broth and lard and stuff for our full diet members, and they're able to get those things for like the cooking oil. So we use a ton of lard in our household and on the farm in general, and really trying to help people kind of embrace that as their oil. And the vegetables really are totally free choice. And we will 2 to 4 times a year really track what gets put out, what gets taken, seasonally, at least like 1 week where you're paying really close attention so that you can see what your group of people, what is this 40 people, what are they eating? And then you start harvesting X number of bunches each week. And you just want to make sure that there's plenty of abundance. There's some left over at the end of the week. And if you've got a ton left over, it's like, okay, ratchet that back or whatever. And you just kind of get into a sweet spot where there's not a lot of food waste. And of course, the staff here on the farm is kind of eating what's left.
That's what I was going to ask. What do you do with but you got mouths at the farm too.
Mouths at the farm. We also have a really close relationship, especially in the summer months, with the High Desert Food and Farm Alliance, who comes out and they do a ton of gleaning, and they get all of our week-old vegetables, which are honestly probably fresher than most things in the grocery store. So each year we donate over the years, it's been between 5 and 30,000 pounds of produce every year. And I'm trying to get that number down, actually, because it's like, oh my God, we still grow it, water it, fertilize it, harvest it, wash
bunch it. Yeah. It's a lot of work.
I'm like, I really don't want to be overproducing too much, but they come out and they actually glean out of the field as well, which has been a really wonderful relationship. They come out every single week and get food, and then they'll get anything that's left over so that things are moving along. We do a ton of preservation on the farm. And we also really try to help our full diet members with preservation, whether it's freezing, drying, pickling, so that when they get to their winter months, they have something to eat. And they really need to be thinking about that. And so everybody gets their whole cases of things. It's like you get your case of cauliflower, case of broccoli, case of cucumbers, case of tomatoes, all these things that then people can freeze and have In the winter, if they're good little squirrels, they can eat pretty well. But if you aren't, it's really problematic. All of a sudden you're like, damn.
Yeah. But you still have some vegetables in the winter, just not the same breadth.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So the summer months, there's all this abundance that we share with the full diet, and we teach them how to preserve. And then our fall is bananas. Like, other people are putting their farms to bed, and we are doing that. And we're also flipping all of our greenhouses into Siberian kale, Yakina Savoy, chard, green onions, arugula. Those things will grow in the winter. Spinach.
Mm-hmm.
Siberian kale, though, is probably 80% of what we eat in the wintertime. And we're also filling our cellars. So we've raised many tons of carrots, beets, parsnips, celeriac, potatoes, cabbage, winter squash, onions, garlic. All those things are going into a couple big buildings and 3 walk-ins and a big shipping container. So we really ram jam the stores. So it feels like it's like, oh, you're still harvesting for market, you're putting stuff to bed, but you're also harvesting essentially what a lot of people are going to eat for the next 7 months. And it all happens in October. So it's a big month for us. And when we hire people on, we're like, we do not want anybody getting weak at the end. We mean, like, that's where you gotta step it up, and it's a little bit of a summit type of a moment. It's like the sprint at the end of the marathon, Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It sounds like a great strategy, especially I like that idea of treating it like everybody's getting a whole cow, but they're eating it over time. Like, that's such a great idea in terms of making sure it's fair. Okay, shifting gears. I want to talk more about events. How did you get into hosting events? And how many events are you guys hosting over the years? How have you developed the space for that? Tell me a little bit more about how that fits into everything.
Well, it started really early on in our second or third year farming. I had a really wonderful friend and neighbor, a couple ladies that just really believed in the idea of the long table and gathering around a meal in the garden, and they came with catering experience. And so we just built the idea together. And at first we did a couple, and then it was like, all right, we're going to do one a month. And so we were doing around a half a dozen in the summer months. And then it grew into, wow, we need a commercial kitchen. Like, this is sort of a little pop-up side thing, like in their kitchens, which is, not correct, but it was also a really small thing for our members and stuff. So whatever. But now it's in a commercial kitchen on the farm. And that was a huge undertaking. And that commercial kitchen is like the beating heart of this place. It's also where our staff gathers. We eat there together. It's our store. It's our pantries and food storage. And it was a huge investment. So I was able to farm on family land, but I took out a pretty large mortgage to make that happen.
I was wondering, that is a big investment, that kind of infrastructure.
It was a big investment, and it has been, I don't think we can really very well imagine life without it at this point. And we're servicing our debt and appreciating the space all the time. But now we do farm to table dinners year round. So we do at least one dinner and a brunch every month. And in the summer, we do a lot more. So we have a permit to do our farm to table dinners multiple days a week. And people come out and eat here. And so we'll do stuff on Fridays, Saturdays. We have on Wednesday and Sunday, we have a relationship with 2 road bike tour groups, Backroads and Trek. And they come out for dinner. And that's really cool. It is more of the tourism side of our place here. Whereas our long table dinners, even like the few small weddings that we do that really center their wedding around the meal, are usually local people or guests of local people. Mm-hmm. So it seems like our market is primarily coming from Central Oregon in terms of our guests. And I do a farm tour every time. And Yeah, so it's kind of a weekend. It's a weekend gig primarily, and some off days, I guess. But yeah, it keeps our event manager very busy. She does all the sales and, like I say, staffing and organizing all those things, and having the infrastructure, building the beautiful tables and having the cafe lights. And her husband built a beautiful bar in the garden, and it's a real centerpiece, and also a place that we like to hang out in the shade during the work. We don't keep the booze on tap or anything, but we do like the spot, and it forces us to keep the farm pretty tidy. Every Thursday, it's like, are we event ready? Are all the tools put away? Like, fluff, clean out the truck.
Yeah, that's kind of nice in a way, because then you get to enjoy that too.
I do. I really like the farm to be pretty tidy. So the forced nature of that, because farms have so much entropy.
They sure do, Sarahlee.
Yeah, it's like...
And some people aren't bothered by it, i.e. my husband. And some people are, i.e. me.
Yeah, the events are great. It's like, I don't know, baby. It's got to look nice for the pretty people.
So how many people sit at your long table? Like, what's the scale of these events?
50 people max, and that's pretty tight. We usually that's our permit is for 50 people, and we often have like just even like 45.
Okay.
Perfect. And so we have all the chairs and the plates and bowls and all the things, it's like a little restaurant.
And then the food comes from the farm.
100%.
Oh, that's
yeah,
amazing.
definitely.
And then it's just like they come and they get what's being served kind of meal.
Yeah. There's no pre-menu, but you do have to buy your tickets ahead of time. So that's really nice. It's not like, all right, we're going to do this thing, and you don't know who's coming or if anybody's going to come or too many people are going to come. We have to be really careful. Deschutes County is very strict in terms of its land use and stuff. So that getting our permit to do it was a bear, and we've got it, and that feels really good. And so we really manage it closely. So in terms of parking and ADA accessibility and everybody using the bathroom, like our whole infrastructure is built around our little scale of what we do. So.
Well, and that also for the guests, that seems like a really nice number where it's like, yes, maybe it's somebody who's just a couple that like are like, let's go on a date night and get a babysitter for the kids and go have this magical evening. But then they get there and it's almost a scale where it feels like you're just at one big family gathering, even if you don't know the people, especially with the long table.
Yeah, people really connect. We sit people together if they come in a group of 2 or more or whatever, but it's really wonderful. We also do like we don't do plated dinners. It's like a family style. So that's a great way to, be forced to at least hand the food to the next guy. And I think really good friends have come out of dining together out here, and they all start with this hour-long tour. They get their wine, and then we like ramble, and I get to sort of jump around on my little soapbox for a little bit, and then it gets people thinking, and I think it guides the conversation a little bit at the table, and then it really is. I mean, all the food comes from here. I mean, the things we're buying are like olive oil.
That's like immediately what came to mind. Olive oil.
Yeah.
Salt.
Yeah. So it is really from here. We try to keep it vegetable forward, but of course meat is always present. We definitely take all the dietary restrictions as much as I really it's such a pain in the ass, but it is the nature of the beast for sure, especially these days. People are pretty particular about what they're eating, which I can really appreciate. I am very particular myself. It's just that I'm particular about eating all the things that we have, so then it doesn't feel particular when I'm here, but as soon as I'm off the farm, I'm probably like the worst. So
yeah. Yeah, it's taken me years to be okay with like, you know what? I'm hungry. That's a fast food restaurant, but I can eat there.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I haven't gotten there yet.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
Okay. Well.
Oh, hell no. That's what I mean. I'm like, I
I'm
know.
talking about when I travel.
Even then, I would rather die. I really would. I'll just starve. I will straight starve to death. It's pretty, no, I don't know. That's totally true. You're right. I mean, goddamn, I feel like the one terminal on the way to Mexico at LAX, the only thing you can really get is the Starbucks, and I will get that breakfast sandwich. Oh,
Yeah,
I will.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes
So
you just have to.
you just have to. My mom was like, "That's why you have a liver, baby." I'm like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, as
So,
long as we mostly eat at home, it's good, right?
yeah. And we're always trying to find like restaurants that really care, which is really hard to find because I think that most people that eat don't actually care and don't make that known. So I don't know. It's really hard to get good ingredients out there. Gotta say. Yeah.
So I want to talk about your book. I didn't know that you wrote a book. So,
Oh, yeah. It was so long ago. I mean, it came out in 2010. So we're talking about like so long ago.
yeah.
And I just, I have a master's in environmental science and writing, and I ended up writing my book kind of after it was sort of a spinoff from my thesis for that program. And it was a really cool process to write a book. And I did my little book tour and stuff. But I can barely find time to journal anymore. I don't know. I used to love writing so much, and I feel like I've really fallen off pretty far. So at this point, the book is called River House. It's a memoir of building a little cabin with my dad, and it's a lot about him, really, and our relationship. There's like no farming in it at all. It was really pre-farming for me. It was a little bit of a return to this place and how much I love this place and some of my childhood here and stuff like that. But at this point, it's kind of a time capsule of that time. And, the most fictionalized part of any nonfiction is like the end, unless you're dead. So,
Right.
where do you pinch it off?
Yeah, that's true.
So,
Yeah. Especially to make it have any kind of satisfying climax and resolution. Life isn't actually quite like that.
no, especially, yeah, when you're not even 30. So,
Right.
yeah, I think people say they like it. And I personally haven't read it in like 15 years. I kind of wonder what I would think about it now.
Yeah. Well, maybe someday you'll have to write another volume. But it sounds like your days are very, very full.
I know the days are full. I do talk to my sweetheart regularly about like, man, and honestly, the last few days I have sitting down and been writing in my journal. So I'm trying to get back to it. I do get a lot of like sort of personal peace out of it and peace of mind, getting stuff off my mind and being a little more present. Sometimes, like when I'm writing about things and I'm trying to find the words to describe something, I find it can be some of my most present moments when I'm really sort of thinking about it like that.
Yeah, it's a good way to like step away from the hustle.
Yeah. It is a shame though that I honestly I did very little writing in the creation of this farm, and I think this farm is really special and unique nationally, and all the characters and the process and the highs and lows and it is such a blur at this point that I'm like, I don't know if I could recreate it. Maybe I could, like calling people up and like interviewing the characters along the way, see what they remember.
Yeah. I think that's valid.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, maybe
someday.
Yeah.
You can go out on your sailboat and
yeah,
have some writing time someday. So looking to the future, I'm curious, do you see any long-term challenges for Rainsh Shadow Organics, and what kinds of steps are you taking to meet those?
Well, I guess we're concerned about climate change and our irrigation. We have a really incredible irrigation district that's all pipelined and pressurized and really water efficient. And so
That's
the water that
great.
we have here is very special. But are the mountains going to have the water holding capacity if our precipitation is not coming in the form of snow? I feel like every year there's less and less snow, and definitely our glaciers are gone. So when I was a kid, you'd look at the mountains and yeah, all the winter snow would be melted off, but there was glaciers up there. And now there is just hardly any white at all on the Cascades. So, and I just think, that's changing every year. So that's something that we think about. And I don't know what to do. I think one of the biggest things for me, everybody talks about irrigation efficiencies. And we use drip irrigation, but we also use overhead for all kinds of reasons. The plants like it better, frost protection, also the scale at which we're farming, being able to cover that ground efficiently. But through many years of cover cropping and compost and different teas that we use and all the efforts that we make as organic farmers, we've really raised our organic matter in the soil several percent. And for each percent, I read somewhere that the ground has a water holding capacity of 20,000 gallons per acre, every percent organic matter that you are raising your kind of overall soil. So if you're farming the valley and you got a lot of clay and a lot of organic matter in this incredible topsoil, it's probably not the same in terms of, well, it seems like you already have this efficiency. But one of the efficiencies that I'm working on over here is raising the organic matter so that I don't need to use as much water. And we only use a small percentage of our water allotment, even when we're giving a full ration of water to our crops, because of how much water holding capacity our ground has here. And I really appreciate that the work that the NRCS and stuff does to help people learn to cover crop, create incentive programs to get that into people's management practices and stuff. And I think that has helped me a lot in terms of becoming prepared, and it can't happen overnight. And so those like 5% that we've achieved over the last 15 years is really profound, but also I'm glad I've been working on it for 15 years and I'm going to keep working on it for many years to come. So there's that. I think also, I guess just people like caring about what they eat and caring about their impact on the planet, I think is a real challenge. And I think there's a lot of complacency, a lot of like, well, I don't know, things are pretty bad. So is there, do I even matter? Do my choices matter? And I think they really do. And I think it's really great when you can eat better. And when you're supporting a local farmer, that's something that farmer has the ability to really step in and expand their production in times of need. And if you're not supporting that farmer all along, they're not going to be there. People are getting out of farming in Central Oregon. There's very few new farmers. Every year, people are feeling relatively burnout, and that's sad. And I think like when it's hard to sell a CSA in a rich town like Bend, when you only need like 0.01% of the population to make that commitment, it is a joke, honestly. And I think that as a community, we should be ashamed. So anyway, I think that's a challenge. I don't know how to like really educate people about that without being negative. So I don't know, man. I think I don't know what to do about that. I'm just working on my marketing all the time and trying to educate people and just try to survive and be here, which is its own beast, I guess, of a task.
Yeah, but you're right. I mean, I think people do sometimes just feel so overwhelmed by the scope of climate change, environmental problems, that I think a lot of people do stop thinking that their choices matter. It's like they just kind of give up. So
yeah, it's like, gosh, why am I recycling if like however many hundreds of acres or tires are burning in Turkey right now? It's like, oh, it's pretty
I know. It's a legitimate question. And yet,
Yeah.
what future do we have if we don't do what we can? Right? As individuals, like maybe this is all we can do, and maybe it's just a tiny drop in a bucket, but it's better than no drops.
Yeah. My sweetheart was talking about Wendellberry the other day, and one of his favorite quotes is like, "We're not trying to save the world; we're trying to live more savingly in it."
Yeah,
and that does add up.
it does.
I don't know if that's the exact quote. Let's just be real.
That's fine. I like the gist of it.
Yeah. So just trying to do our best out here. And honestly, a lot of people are like, oh, like, why do you farm? And I farm because I love it. I actually do not farm to make any kind of difference at all at the end of the day. And I started farming to make a difference, but I keep farming because I love it more than anything. I love farming with the people that are my team. And I hope that other people are benefited by our life's work, but I'm not doing it for anybody but me, really. And that's, I think, kind of important, because if you're expecting to get some kind of like reward or affirmation or something from a community of people that like really isn't giving it, it can be so disheartening. And so at the end of the day, it's like, and I wasn't able to sell my whole CSA. It's like, oh, well, I still love farming. So,
yeah. You still get to go out there and hang out with vegetables and animals and people.
Yeah. And I think periodically reminding myself of that has been an important part of my process, I would say.
Good. To end, asking people if they have any really useful tips or tricks to share with our market farming audience, but I kind of feel like you just did, just like in terms of like, make sure your motivation is sustainable.
Yeah. Yeah. How much do you love it? And if you're not doing something that you love, you really shouldn't be doing it. And you should ask yourself, so if you're like, I want to be a market farmer, but I'm doing this other thing that I don't like doing, you should damn sure try market farming, because it's so wonderful. And for all y'all that are market farming and are just like, this sucks, it's like, get out of it. It'll just eat you alive. It'll just use up your whole life. And I'm happy to give it. And that's how I want to use my life. But if I was not feeling that way, I would definitely move right onto that sailboat.
Yeah. There you go. You already have your like literal escape plan. But it sounds like you don't need it. So that's great. Instead, it can just be your vacation spot.
Just a couple little weekends here and there makes a huge difference. A breath of fresh air, coastal air, man.
Coastal air.
You can get to the coast. Try. It's worth it. Gosh.
Well, is there anything else that you'd like to share with our audience today, Sarahlee?
No, it's been so fun chatting with you, and I really appreciate that you're doing this. I think it's a really great service for people, and I know that people get so much out of podcasts. And I know as a new farmer, I loved hearing from other farms, and just little ideas can really go a long way, man. It's like a little seed. I can just plant that idea and nurture it and grow it into something like a monster. It's like pretty much what happened to me.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I mean, you have lots of things going on. So clearly you took a lot of seeds and planted them.
Yeah, man. I'm a farmer. I'm a farmer of ideas, a farmer of people, a farmer of all kinds of stuff.
It's awesome. I'm going to come visit someday. We get over there somewhat regularly now because my kids are mountain bikers. So.
Oh, yeah. The mountain biking over here, and especially the spring and fall, is particularly nice. We've been enjoying the backcountry skiing this winter. That's been really special.
Yeah, you live in a good place. A hard place sometimes, but it's a good one too.
Oh yeah, it's totally worth it. I don't think I would move, but I also am latched into this, man. Coming from a place is so different than trying to find a place. I get people coming here that want to learn how to farm, and they're just not sure where to do it. And I'm like, oh my God, I just don't think I could decide. If it wasn't like a forced thing, I just don't know I guess I'm not your person for that. I feel so connected here, like beyond farming with growing up here and stuff. My sense of place is very strong. And if you are what you eat, I'm pretty much the walking manifestation of this place. So
yeah. What a gift. What a
yeah.
gift.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sarahlee. If people want to connect, where can they find Rain Shadow Organics?
Yeah, new website. Yeah, rainshadoworganics.com. And oh my God, what an undertaking this winter that has been. But that's where you can find the info, see the pictures, get on the email list, whatever.
Great. And I imagine there's links there to any kind of social media and stuff too.
Yeah, I think
Great.
so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we have social media. Go ahead, look.
Yeah, I hope so.
Oh, well, I hope you have a great rest of your winter. Thank you so much for sharing so much about your wonderful farm. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you too. Congratulations on your new book.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so cool.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of the Growing for Market podcast. If you've been enjoying the show, please consider giving us a follow and a rating or review. It really helps others find the podcast. For more tips and information from farmer to farmer, check out our magazine at growingformarket.com. Whether you're a commercial grower or just want to grow like one, subscribe to Growing for Market magazine for the nitty-gritty of growing, marketing, and the business of market farming. We publish 10 issues per year with articles written by experienced farmers on topics ranging from tools and techniques to farm business operations and marketing. If you've been listening to the Growing for Market podcast and you haven't yet checked out Growing for Market magazine, we've made a change so you can try the magazine for free. We've added a free month to the beginning of all first-time subscriptions. Try out the digital or paper magazine, and if it's not for you, cancel within 28 days and you'll never get billed. With digital subscriptions starting at just $39 per year, you get a year of the magazine, plus over 150 back issues from the last 15 years. Head on over to growingformarket.com and subscribe today to benefit from over 3 decades of writing by farmers, for farmers, in Growing for Market magazine.